Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. It usually starts with a feeling in your gut, a heaviness, a sense that you are constantly walking on eggshells. You find yourself questioning your own memory. You apologize for things you didn't do. You feel drained, not just physically, but deep in your soul. You are dealing with a manipulator. This is not just a difficult person. This is a calculated assault on your reality. They weave a fog of confusion, guilt, and doubt designed to keep you off balance. They want a reaction. They want control. And right now, you might feel like you are losing the battle. But you don't have to fight them. You don't have to argue, scream, or seek revenge. In fact, trying to win their game is exactly how you lose. Today, we are going to hand you an ancient blueprint to becoming unmanipulatable. We will explore 7 profound Stoic strategies to dismantle their games, not by playing harder, but by stepping off the board entirely. If you are ready to reclaim your mind, silence the noise, and build an inner fortress that no one can breach, I invite you to join us. Click subscribe to join the Timeless Wisdom official community, and let's begin this journey to freedom.
Section 1. The Fortress of Logic, Objective Representation. The first weapon the manipulator uses against you is language, but not just any language. They use loaded, emotional language designed to bypass your logic and strike directly at your insecurities. In modern psychology, we call this gaslighting. In Stoicism, the antidote is a practice called fantasia kataleptike, or objective representation. The Stoics believed that nothing is inherently good or bad, but our judgment of it makes it so. A manipulator knows this instinctually. They don't just say, "You didn't do the dishes." They say, "You are so lazy and selfish, you never help around the house, and you clearly don't care about this family." Do you see the difference? The first is a fact. The second is a narrative. The manipulator wraps a tiny kernel of truth in layers of poisonous judgment. If you swallow the whole sentence, you swallow the poison. You start defending your character. "I am not selfish," instead of addressing the fact. To outsmart them, you must become a master of objective representation. You must strip their words naked. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, practiced this daily. When looking at fine wine, he wouldn't say, "This is a luxurious vintage." He would say, "This is fermented grape juice." He stripped away the story to see the raw reality. You must do the same. When a manipulator attacks you with a storm of emotional adjectives, useless, crazy, oversensitive, you must mentally pause. Visualize their sentence on a whiteboard and erase the adjective. If your boss says, "This report is a disaster, you're embarrassing the department," you strip it down. What is the objective fact? There are errors in the report. That is the only thing that is real. The rest, disaster, embarrassing, is just noise. It is their opinion, not your reality. By refusing to accept their definitions, you refuse to accept their frame. You reply to the facts, not the feelings. You say, "I see there are errors. I will correct them." You don't apologize for your existence. You don't beg for approval. You stick to the logic. When you do this, the manipulator hits a wall. They cannot hook you if you don't bite the bait. Section 2. The Art of the Gray Rock, Emotional Indifference. Once the manipulator realizes that their words aren't working, they will escalate. They will try to provoke an emotional reaction. They feed on your energy. Your anger validates them. Your tears make them feel powerful. Your defense makes them feel important. To starve them, you must embrace the Stoic discipline of indifference. Marcus Aurelius wrote a beautiful visualization for this. He said to be like the rocky promontory against which the waves constantly break. It stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. The rock doesn't scream at the waves. It doesn't try to fight the ocean. It simply is. Eventually, the waves must settle back into the sea. In modern psychology, this is called the gray rock method. The goal is to become as uninteresting and unreactive as a gray rock. When a manipulator tries to bait you, perhaps they bring up a past mistake, or they compare you to someone else. Your instinct is to defend yourself. You want to scream, "That's not fair." But that scream is the fuel they are hunting for. Instead, you channel the Stoic rock. You withhold the reaction. You keep your face neutral. Your voice remains calm and monotone. You give them nothing. If they say, "I guess you don't care about me anymore," you don't launch into a monologue about how much you love them. You simply say, "I'm sorry you feel that way." If they try to start a fight via text message, sending you paragraphs of accusations, you don't type back a novel. You reply, "I see. This is incredibly difficult." Inside, you may be burning with the desire to set the record straight. But you must remember the Stoic truth. You cannot control what they say, but you are the master of your own tongue. Every time you refuse to engage in the drama, you act with dignity. When you gray rock a manipulator, something interesting happens. They get bored. A predator does not chase prey that doesn't run. If they cannot get a rise out of you, they cannot control you. You are protecting your peace by refusing to participate in their war. You are teaching them that their old tricks no longer work on the new you. Section 3. The dichotomy of control, releasing the need to win. Now that you have learned to strip away their emotional language and withhold your reactions, we must address the deepest trap of all, the desire to be right. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic teachers, gave us the dichotomy of control. He taught that some things are up to us and some things are not. Up to us are our opinions, our impulses, our desires, and our own integrity. Not up to us are our bodies, our possessions, our reputations, and, most importantly, the actions of others. When dealing with a manipulator, you likely fall into the trap of trying to control the uncontrollable. You try to explain yourself. You try to justify your feelings. You think, if I can just find the right words, they will understand. If I just explain it clearly enough, they will admit they were wrong. You must let go of this fantasy. A manipulator is not interested in your logic. They are interested in your submission. They are not looking for a resolution. They are looking for a victory. By trying to convince them, you are handing them the keys to your happiness. You are saying, "I cannot be at peace until you agree with me." And since they will never agree with you, you have condemned yourself to eternal frustration. The Stoic solution is a radical shift in your goals. You must stop playing their game. Imagine you are an archer. You can control how you hold the bow, how you aim, and when you release the string. But once the arrow leaves the bow, a gust of wind might blow it off course. Whether it hits the bullseye is ultimately not up to you. In a conflict with a manipulator, your goal should no longer be getting them to apologize. Your goal must be behaving with dignity. When they lie about you, your goal is not to force them to tell the truth. Your goal is to know the truth yourself and remain calm. When they try to provoke a fight, your goal is not to win the argument. Your goal is to refuse to enter the mud. When you shift your definition of success from changing them to governing yourself, you become invincible. They can scream, lie, and manipulate all they want, but if your goal was simply to remain composed, then you have succeeded. You win every single time, not because you defeated them, but because you mastered yourself. Section 4. The view from above, perspective shifting. One of the most insidious tactics of a manipulator is isolation. They work hard to become the center of your universe. They make their approval feel like the sun, and their disapproval feel like a cold, dark winter. They shrink your world until it feels like nothing matters except their opinion of you. They make their problems feel like catastrophes. A missed phone call becomes a betrayal. A small disagreement becomes a relationship-ending crisis. They trap you in a microscopic world of drama. To break this spell, you need the Stoic practice known as the view from above. Marcus Aurelius often practiced zooming out. He would imagine seeing himself from the ceiling, then from the sky, then from the stars. He looked down upon the earth and saw armies fighting over borders that looked like lines in the sand. He saw how small and temporary everything truly is. When the manipulator is standing in front of you, looming large, filling the room with their toxicity, you must mentally activate this view from above. Visualize the timeline of human history. Think of the billions of people who have lived and died. Think of the rise and fall of empires. Now, place this manipulator in that context. Suddenly, they are not a giant monster controlling your fate. They are a tiny, insignificant speck on a tiny blue dot in the middle of a vast cosmos. Their anger is not a thunderstorm, it is a microscopic vibration. Their cruel words are just sounds fading into the silence of space. Why is this useful? Because it shatters the illusion of their importance. It helps you detach. When you realize how short life is and how vast the world is, you realize that this person's drama is laughably small. It is not worth your anxiety. It is not worth your sleep. The next time they try to create a crisis, zoom out. Look at them not with fear, but with the curiosity of a scientist observing a small, angry insect. This shift in perspective restores your sense of scale. It reminds you that there is a whole world outside of their web, a world full of beauty, opportunity, and people who will treat you with respect. They are not the sun, they are just a shadow, and shadows cannot hurt you. Section 5. Protecting your time, the only true currency. Seneca, in his brilliant essay on the shortness of life, wrote, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. We guard our bank account. If a stranger walked up to you and asked for your wallet, you would say no. Yet, when a manipulator demands our time, we hand it over freely. Manipulators are time vampires. They manufacture crises. They demand hours of phone calls to discuss the same circular argument. They keep you up late at night resolving issues that they created. They steal your weekends, your evenings, and your mental energy. A Stoic realizes that time is the only non-renewable resource. Money can be earned back. Time cannot. Every minute you spend listening to a manipulator's toxicity is a minute you steal from your own life, from your passions, your rest, and the people who actually love you. To outsmart them, you must become ruthless with your time. You must set boundaries, not as a punishment for them, but as a protection for yourself. This requires the courage to use the most powerful word in the English language, no. And here is the secret that Stoics know: you do not need to explain your no. A manipulator feeds on your explanations. If you say, "I can't talk right now because I have to cook dinner," they will argue, "Oh, so dinner is more important than me?" Do not give them that opening. A Stoic does not justify their actions to a tyrant. "I cannot speak right now. I am not available for this conversation. I need to go." Short, clear, final. You might feel guilty. You might feel like you are being mean. But you are not being mean, you are being wise. You are treating your time with the respect it deserves. When you stop being available on demand, the manipulator loses their supply. They realize that your time is a fortress with a gate, and you are the only one with the key. You are teaching them that your life belongs to you, and that is a lesson they desperately need to learn. Section 6. Pity, do not hate, the ultimate reframing. This brings us to the most difficult yet most powerful shift in your mindset. When someone lies to us, betrays us, or manipulates us, our natural reaction is anger. We may even feel hatred. We think, "How dare they treat me this way? They are evil." But Stoicism asks us to look deeper. Marcus Aurelius, who dealt with traitors and schemers in his own court, reminded himself that people who do wrong act out of ignorance. They believe that what they are doing is necessary for their own happiness. They are confused about what is good and what is bad. Think about the manipulator in your life. Are they truly happy? Are they at peace? Or are they constantly scrambling for control, terrified of being exposed, and desperate for attention? A happy person does not need to manipulate others. A secure person does not need to belittle others to feel tall. The manipulator is acting out of a deep, gnawing spiritual sickness. They are slaves to their own insecurities. They are running on a treadmill of ego that never stops. When you hate a manipulator, you are still bonded to them. Hate is a strong emotional connection. It takes up space in your mind. It keeps you up at night. As long as you hate them, they are still living rent-free in your head. The Stoic way to break this bond is not forgiveness in the traditional sense, but pity. Look at them not as a monster, but as a flawed, broken human being who has lost their way. When a child throws a tantrum because they are tired, you don't hate the child. You understand they are struggling. When a patient screams because of a fever, the doctor does not take it personally. Start viewing the manipulator as a patient. When they lash out, tell yourself, they are acting this way because they are in pain. They are acting this way because they are empty. This reframing is like magic. You cannot be afraid of someone you pity. You cannot be intimidated by someone you see as spiritually small. When you look at them with pity, their power evaporates. You step out of the role of the victim and into the role of the wise observer. You are no longer on their level fighting in the mud. You are standing above, looking down with a mixture of sadness and distance. This is the ultimate shield against their toxicity. Section 7. The Inner Citadel, Self-Sufficiency. Finally, we arrive at the core of Stoic philosophy, the inner citadel. Manipulators thrive on dependency. They use a tactic called intermittent reinforcement. First, they love bomb you. They give you praise, affection, and attention. They make you feel special. Then, suddenly they withdraw it. They become cold and critical. You panic. You scramble to get that high back. You work harder to please them. You have become addicted to their validation. They hold the keys to your self-worth, and they know it. To outsmart them forever, you must take those keys back. You must build what Marcus Aurelius called your inner citadel. This is a fortress inside your mind where your peace and self-worth are stored, and where no one else is allowed to enter. You must reach a point where you do not need their praise to feel good, and therefore, you do not fear their criticism. How do you build this? By anchoring your self-worth in something they cannot touch, your own character. A manipulator can attack your appearance. They can attack your past. They can attack your job performance. But they cannot touch your virtue. They cannot stop you from being kind, honest, patient, and brave. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself, I am enough because I am trying my best. I am valuable because I possess reason and kindness. My worth is not a stock price that goes up and down based on someone else's mood. When you become self-sufficient, the manipulator is baffled. They try to insult you, but you don't crumble. They try to flatter you, but you don't melt. You are steady. You are whole. Imagine their confusion when their emotional levers stop working. It is like they are pressing buttons on a remote control, but the TV isn't changing channels. That is the power of the inner citadel. You have cut the wires. You are free because you are no longer asking them to tell you who you are. You already know. The victory of peace. We have traveled a long way together in this video. We have moved from the fog of confusion to the clarity of the Stoic mind. We learned to use logic to strip away their emotional lies. We learned to be the gray rock that gives them no fuel. We learned to protect our time, release the need to control them, and ultimately, to build an inner citadel that they cannot breach. The path of Stoicism teaches us that outsmarting a manipulator isn't about checkmating them in a game of 4D chess. It isn't about having the perfect comeback or making them suffer. The ultimate victory is realizing that you don't have to play the game at all. When you apply these principles, you don't just survive. You become untouchable. You stop being the leaf blown around by their storms, and you become the lighthouse. The waves may crash, the wind may howl, and the manipulator may scream into the void. But the lighthouse stands tall. It shines its light. It remains at peace. and that peace is the greatest revenge of all. Thank you for investing your most valuable asset, your time, with Timeless Wisdom Official today. We do not take your attention for granted. If this video helped you find a moment of clarity, or if it gave you a tool you can use today, please subscribe to our channel. Join this community of seekers who are choosing wisdom over chaos. Please hit the like button to help this message reach others who might be suffering in silence. And I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 7 strategies resonates most with you? Are you ready to be the gray rock, or are you working on your inner citadel? Share your story. We read every single one because your journey matters to us. Until next time, remember, they may try to control the world around you, but they can never conquer the world within you. Master your mind, master your life.